Okay, so behind me, you see that image behind me? That is the largest national World War II museum in Russia. Well, that is a monument. The museum is right there, that building. That's the museum. I just wanted to take this moment to say that, look at that sculpture. Now I'll show you a couple pictures. You'll see them right now, kind of going across the screen as I talk. But World War II is easily the most just such a huge catastrophe. And anyone that knows me, Brittany, Miles, other producers or actors I've probably come into contact with, they know that World War II is something that always stays on my mind, and it always gives me pause because of what happened, how the Jews had to suffer, but really just the unbelievable evil that the Germans, specifically Nazi Germany under Adolf Hitler, brought to the world. Just a horrendous time in civilized history. So now what you'll see, I'm going to show you some more images of this, and you'll see that this is an incredible monument. It's a striking monument, and it's one that should give you pause because the images are just so profound. These are men and women lined up to die.
So you have Jewish scripture there, or script, but you have also
in every language of the former Soviet Union, because as the Nazi soldiers advanced, their task was to conquer, break the will of the nation. And my relatives and friends who told me, the survivors of these camps, they told me that as they took over the Ukraine, the Germans, they needed workforce in Germany, free kind of slave labor, so they would ship the healthiest young people by hundreds of thousands, irregardless of their nationality, from the occupied territory, and ship them by freight trains like cattle to Germany and put them immediately to work, and then exterminate those who opposed them, or rebelled, or resisted, or were not, or fell
they were
under,
weak,
yes,
or
right,
unable to perform tasks,
yeah.
do the duties and whatnot.
Yeah.
So what does this whole monument represent then? Just all of the people that lost their lives?
Yeah,
Right.
it
From the
represents
Russian standpoint.
the loss of
Soviets, which
Soviet.
because now they are Russia, but after the war they took over the whole Ukraine and all the way to Kazakhstan, to east, to Siberia, to everywhere, and so it's more than Russia. And this was built, I think, during the Soviet time.
During the Soviet time, and even just on the territories of Russia proper right now, 150 ethnic groups live that use 150 different languages and dialects, and the majority are ethnic Russians. Actually, I'm fourth generation Seventh-day Adventist in Russia. My great grandfather was one of the first converts to Adventism, and for preaching a minority faith in predominantly Russian Orthodox Tsarist pre-revolutionary Russia, he was shackled and sent to Siberia several times. My grandfather was sentenced to 10 years of hard labor camps for being a Seventh-day Adventist pastor already under Stalin's regime. And when my dad, an 18-year-old young man, took charge of the underground church after his dad, my grandpa, was imprisoned, a couple years later, he was imprisoned and sentenced to 5 years of Stalin's labor camps. When my grandfather returned, survived after those 10 years, my dad survived, and my grandfather was full of hope. He was a very peaceful and happy person who sensed that God has preserved him and has been with him, and He loved people. He served people till the last day of his life.
All right, guys. This has been one heck of a emotional trip. I mean, just seeing the monument to the World War II victims, and then seeing the just the amount of detail putting into that. But you know what? Now I'm looking at this right over here. This monument. Look how tall it is. It's unbelievable. And the thing is that makes it even better than the Washington Monument is that it is so detailed in the actual monument itself. There's little there's little designs of people, and angels, with words, and sort of stories inscribed into the monument all the way up to the top. And at the very top there is like an angel with a horn shooting outwards, and it is so striking. So the question is, what is this monument commemorating? So Boris, what is the monument commemorating? I mean, it's World War II. I know it's World War II.
Yeah.
But what is it communicating? What is it?
I'm
Is
not
it just?
sure, but I think there is something about the Victory Day. It's
Just
just for remain us about the Victory Day.
okay. And at the top, that's an angel, right? It's amazing,
This place is amazing. I love this place.
man. Just so soft. Now, one more thing is, what are these boards with?
Well, the last time it wasn't here,
Okay.
so I'm not telling you what they are putting there. We should go and try to write.
Okay. Now you're gonna do that because I can't read it in Russian. Now, just so you guys know, there's boards all across this area that have little, like, seems to be like note cards with post-its on it, and with people wrote stuff. I don't know what it is, so he's gonna tell me what, hopefully, what this is all about. People know about the 6 million Jews that had their lives taken from them during World War II during the expansion of the Nazi regime under the rule of Adolf Hitler. What people don't know is that 20 million Russians who were not Jews also lost their lives in that same struggle, because the Russians were fighting and pushing and providing resistance against the German armies from their side of the world, while the Americans and the Allied forces were pushing from the opposite side, from the Atlantic side of the world. And so Germany is right in the middle, trying to expand sort of outwards of that. Now Germany was disposing of the Jews within the country and in surrounding countries, but countries were fighting back. And Russia was one of the leading countries fighting back, and they lost 20 million lives during this time in history, from 1941 to 1945. 900 days. 900 days. It's an incredible story that isn't told very often. I didn't know about this. When I think of World War II, I think about Nazis destroying Jews. I don't necessarily think about 20 million Russians. That is well over 200%. Okay, so it's a big number. All right. So anyway,